Hello, my name is Miracle King, and I'm currently a sophomore here at Fayetteville State University, majoring in healthcare administration with a minor in public health. A little bit about me: I am from Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and I attended City High School. City stands for Center for Industry, Technology, and Innovation High School. While at City High, I obtained an associate's degree in medical office administration with a concentration in patient services, and I also got my high school diploma. The program was designed to be a 5-year program, but I was able to complete it in 4. A little bit about the internships and things I've been involved in. I got the opportunity to be a junior volunteer at UNC Nash, which is a local hospital. And while I was there, I got to be an intern in their business office, food and nutrition, and pharmacy. And this opportunity was very beneficial for me. I learned about different departments in the hospital and how they all talk and connect with each other. I learned that food nutrition is very important. If the patients aren't getting fed on time, this can affect surgery times, and it can affect the way the medications work. And certain medications, you have to be on a fluids diet, or you have to eat certain amount of calories and things like that. So the food and nutrition department has to be very careful about what they give the patients. And the pharmacy department, they have to make sure they're reading the codes and right, and they're making sure they give the right patient the right medicine. They're not giving the patient medicines that they're allergic to, that the medicines that they do give the patient will work with other medications. And everyone just has to do their job. And then you have the business office, and they're kind of doing the back end stuff, making sure that the insurance company knows what's going on, making sure the hospital is getting paid. And so it's like everyone works together and everyone has to do their part. And it was just a very eye-opening experience, and it taught me that there's more jobs in healthcare than just being a nurse or a doctor. I also was a pharmacist intern with the OIC of Rocky Mount, which stands for Opportunities Industrialization Center. And like I said, I was a pharmacist intern there. And I learned about a different side of pharmacy, not the hospital side, but the drugstore side. And, that was a lot different. It was very different than the hospital setting. It was more so like, people just come to pick up their medications. But while I was there, I did learn a lot about my community, and I learned that a lot of people in my community don't even know how to say the name of the medicines that they're taking. And some of them didn't know like what the medicine did, and to be honest with you, I didn't know what the medicine did either. So it definitely challenged me, and I learned a lot of different names of medicines like gabapentin and valcyclovir and different things. And I was like, okay, so this is what this medicine does, and this is how it interacts with the body. And I just found it very interesting. I've always just been very curious and just wanting to know how things work. And it was just very eye-opening. And, I learned the basics about the medications. I had to count prescriptions. It taught me, how to be kind of fast-paced, but also make sure I'm doing things precisely, because you miscounting pills, people can't take their medicine how they're supposed to. And I learned about different milligrams of medicines, and I also learned about NDC numbers and all that. It was just a very eye-opening experience, and it exposed me to another side of healthcare. And then lastly, I also was an intern for a day at the health department, and I learned all there was to know about the health department. I learned about how their processes are a little bit different than a traditional hospital, but at the end of the day, they still provide good quality care for all of their patients. And I think that this HIV/AIDS internship will also just be another eye-opening opportunity for me, because to be honest with you, I don't know exactly what I want to do as far as the medical field yet. At first, I thought I wanted to be a pharmacist. Then I thought I wanted to own my own health clinic. So, I'm narrowing it down a little bit, but I want to keep my options open, and I want to learn all I can learn. So I'm very interested in this HIV/AIDS internship, because I know that I will learn all there is to know about AIDS. And to be honest with you, I don't know a lot about AIDS and HIV besides, I don't want to get it and that it's incurable. So I want to understand like the science behind it and how it affects your body, what cells are affected. I want to know about, treatment. I want to know about the early stage signs, and I feel like it'll help not only me educate myself, but it'll also help me feel more confident when talking to my peers, because I personally feel like sometimes people don't want to talk to their doctor. They want to talk to a friend or someone they know is not going to judge them. And if I have this information, it could, help me in my friendships. And when someone does have a question, I'll know, like, the basics, like, okay, these are the signs. This is what you should look out for. And I think it's going to help with the stigmatism that comes with HIV and AIDS. Because growing up, I've heard, derogatory things about, like, the LGBT community and how, they're the only one that has to worry about AIDS and stuff like that. But that's not true. And I want to learn why it's stigmatized and why it's something that, blacks and Latinos and things like that, why they don't talk about it, because it is important. And I believe that if we truly want people to stop the spread of HIV, that people need to be educated. Just like how people in the pharmacy need to be educated on their medications. They need to understand why it's important and what's happening to them. And I think that I can help with that gap. I believe that I could be a source and just honestly just be a translator and translate, okay, this is the medicine you're on. This is why you're taking it. This is how it's going to help you. This is, this is the diagnosis. This is why you have it. This is how you got it. And this is what we can do to prevent it or to help stop the spread. As far as my strengths, I think that my biggest strength is that I'm very curious. I want to learn everything. I feel like I will be prepared to come to class. I'll have questions. I'll grasp the information. And I'm just interested. I think another strength for me is that I'm very honest, and I don't have a problem admitting when, I don't understand something and when I do need clarification. I do have some medical terminology as well. I took medical terms 1 and medical terms 2 in community college at City High. So I do understand a little bit of, the terms that are used, but it would be nice to actually apply them. So that's another reason why I'm interested in this internship. As far as my future goals, like I said, one day I hope to either be a pharmacist or to own my own medical center where I can either own it and take care of patients and make sure they receive good quality care, or some type of medical center where I go and people come to me and I, teach them just the basics about different diseases and how they can help and prevent it and stuff like that. Something like that. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure it all out, but I definitely do think this HIV and AIDS internship will help me narrow down my choices, and it'll help me feel more prepared and more confident in my knowledge. Thank you again for considering me for this internship, and I do appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.